There is a moment in your money journey when effort stops being the main driver. 3 numbers flip the script and let your capital fight for you. Today, you will learn how to climb those 3 thresholds with a system, not with stress. Ancient histories describe a moment when the king of Wu wanted to push deeper into enemy territory after a long campaign. His armies had won early battles, and he wanted more. His strategist, Sun Tzu, warned him that the troops were exhausted and the supply lines were stretched. Pushing now might feel bold, but it was fragile. The king paused, rebuilt strength, and secured better positions before advancing again. Later, with rested troops and stronger alliances, Wu struck hard and took the CHU capital. This shows the difference between fighting with raw effort and fighting with stored strength. Sun Tzu called this preparing your army before the decisive battle. Today, we call it building compounding capital before you need it. Same principle. Build your power quietly, then let momentum carry the hard work. The principle is simple. Your money must become a disciplined army that fights while you rest. Sun Tzu said, "To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself." In money terms, your defense is built from your savings rate, your account structure, and your ability to stay invested. Markets provide the opportunities. Your system decides whether you benefit. Think of your wealth journey as climbing 3 distinct rungs, not one vague, someday rich goal. The first threshold is 10,000. This is your proof of discipline. At this stage, most of the growth comes from your contributions, not from returns. You might invest 50, 100, or 200 a month. After a few years, the blue bar of your deposits is much larger than the green bar of growth. It feels slow because you are still carrying most of the load. The role of 10,000 is not freedom. Its role is identity. It proves you can save, invest, and ignore short-term noise. It proves you can say no to lifestyle upgrades now, so your future self has options. The second threshold is 100,000. This is your proof of momentum. Around this level, compounding starts to become visible in real life. An 8% annual return on 100,000 is 8,000 in 1 year. That is more than many people save in the same period. Each additional 100,000 takes less calendar time because your existing capital is pushing from behind. You are still contributing, but now your money is a meaningful partner. This is where strategies like coast-style approaches start to appear. You might reduce contributions for a while to fund a home deposit or travel, knowing your existing base is working. The third threshold is 1 million. This is your proof of optionality. At this level, an 8% return is 80,000 in 1 year. Year 10 at the same rate generates close to 160,000 in gains. Work begins to feel like a choice, not a cage. Common rules of thumb, like withdrawing around 4% per year from a diversified portfolio, suggest that 1 million can often support 40,000 a year in pre-tax withdrawals, while the rest stays invested. This is not a guarantee, but it is a useful planning lens. The 3-threshold ladder tells you exactly what each stage is for. 10,000 proves you can build wealth. 100,000 proves your money can build wealth for you. 1 million starts to turn work from mandatory to optional for many people. Now layer in the leverage stack, so you are not climbing each rung with effort alone. The leverage stack has 4 parts: pension match, tax relief, automated contributions, and simple allocation. If you are employed and your company offers a pension or retirement scheme with matching, this is usually your first battlefield. When you contribute, your employer may add their own contribution. In some countries, tax relief also boosts the amount. This can turn 200 from your paycheck into 300 or more, reaching your investment account every month. Many systems give you tax advantages for retirement contributions. That turns the government into an involuntary teammate. In the United Kingdom, for example, basic rate relief can lift an 80 personal contribution to 100 before it is even invested. The exact rules differ by country, so you check your local guidance, but the principle is consistent. Legal structures can magnify every unit you invest. You do not want your discipline to depend on mood. Set a fixed date, amount, and destination for your contributions. For example, on the first working day after payday, 15% of net income moves automatically into your investment accounts. No manual decision, no debate. You only need a small number of diversified funds or vehicles that you understand. Complexity tempts you to tinker. A simple, diversified mix held for decades gives compounding a clear runway. Together, the leverage stack ensures you are not trying to reach 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million with raw willpower alone. You are using employer money, tax rules, automation, and simplicity as multipliers. Sun Tzu taught that the best generals win with advantage, not with effort alone. Here, your advantage is structural. Now see how this plays out in real situations. You are a 27-year-old analyst earning a steady salary. Growth feels tiny, and your account balance hovers around $2,500. You start with 3 threshold ladder and accept that the first rung is identity training, not glamour. You decide your 10,000 target will come from a 15% savings rate, not from guessing stocks. Then you build your leverage stack. You enroll in your workplace pension, increase contributions until you capture the full employer match, and set an automatic monthly transfer of $300 into a broad, low-cost fund. You schedule a 30-minute review once per quarter instead of daily checking. With contributions plus average market returns, you cross 10,000 in about 3 years. The bigger win is that investing is now a habit, not a project. Now you are a 42-year-old manager with 60,000 invested across several accounts. Growth feels slow, and you are tempted to pause contributions to wait for a better time. You revisit the 3 threshold ladder and see 100,000 as a compounding threshold, not just a round number. You map out that an 8% return on 100,000 generates roughly 8,000 a year, more than 600 a month in growth when markets cooperate. That becomes your new mental target. Using the leverage stack, you consolidate old workplace pensions where fees are high. Redirect $500 a month into your primary retirement account and make sure you are receiving any available match. You cut 2 non-essential subscriptions and redirect the same total into your investments. With contributions plus growth, you give yourself a clear path to 100,000 within several years. More importantly, you stop interrupting compounding every time headlines change. 3 traps, slow, or break this journey. Milestone envy pulls you into comparison. When you compare your 2,000 account to someone else's 200,000, you are pushed toward unnecessary risk. You chase the next big thing instead of building the next rung on your own ladder. Contribution fatigue sets in because the first years feel like you are pouring water into dry sand. Most growth is from your deposits, not from returns. Many people stop right before compounding becomes visible. Your job is to survive this phase. Structural neglect means ignoring pensions, employer matches, and tax-advantaged accounts. You leave free leverage on the table. You try to make up the gap with stock picking or timing instead of fixing your structure. So here is your 21-day wealth positioning campaign. In week 1, spend 60 minutes mapping your numbers. Your success condition is a 1-page overview. List your net income, fixed expenses, current investment balances, and contribution amounts. Highlight your current savings rate as a percentage. Write down your next target threshold, 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million. In week 2, on day 1, spend 45 minutes building your leverage stack. Your success condition is that your pension and match settings are updated. Log into your workplace pension or retirement platform. Turn on contributions if they are off. Increase your percentage until you capture the full employer match, or to a level you can sustain. In week 2, On day 3, spend 30 minutes automating contributions. Your success condition is at least one automatic monthly investment that is active. Set up a recurring transfer on payday into your chosen investment account. Choose a specific amount, even if it is 50. Connect it to a diversified fund you understand. In week 3, spend 90 minutes in total simplifying and committing. Your success condition is a written plan to your next threshold. Review your accounts and, where appropriate, consolidate small legacy pots with high fees into simpler options. Write a short plan that states how much you will invest each month, which threshold you are climbing, and your rules for not selling unless your life situation truly changes. Your wealth campaign is not decided by headlines. It is decided by whether you cross the thresholds that turns effort into momentum. Sun Tzu taught that strong positions are prepared, not discovered. Your next 21 days can prepare the position your future self fights from. Outcomes vary with execution and context.